us another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
I'm on mute. This always happens. Darn it. Yo, guys. Old Man G here, back again. Eddie, I see you in the back. I will bring you on. I just want to just cook for a little bit. Sorry, I've just been doing a brief post match on the Haproad stream. But yes, Manchester United 2, Barcelona 2, in what was a overall very, very entertaining game of football. It was 2-2. And guys, man, I mean, actually, if you look at the prediction, the prediction I've done on well, I didn't do a preview, but on various channels, Eddie's and Ilyas's, I've always been saying that I think the game was going to be a draw. I actually predicted 1-1, but 2-2, just the same. The game clearly opened up in the second half. I think that if I would, in my opinion, I think overall Manchester United were the better team. I think that, we obviously conceded our first goal. I think it was Marcos Alonso header. I don't know why. I think it was Fred, that Marcos Alonso. And Marcos Alonso, to be fair, has always been a good head of the ball. But again, that near post, that thing, we have had a weakness there. It's one of the only benefits, in my opinion, of having Harry Maguire in the team is that when Harry Maguire is in the team, I at least know that from an aerial point of view, we're covered. And you think, okay, even though it felt like it went against the run of play because we pressed Barcelona a lot, we did counter-attack them at times, we pressed them a lot, made them make mistakes. They obviously had their injuries, so Pedri being injured, and so on, and Xavi's questionable lineup. But Marcus Rashford did this. Okay, Marcus Rashford did this. Marcus Rashford did this at the Camp Nou. He did this at the Camp Nou. Do you see what this is? He did this at the Camp Nou. He did this. And it was 1-1. And then obviously, we get a set piece. Julius Koundé on goal. And you're thinking, we really should. This was at 59 minutes. We scored, I think, 52 minutes and 59 minutes. So basically, it was literally 6 minutes and we're ahead. And we had 30 minutes. And United were on the ascendancy. Barca were shell-shocked. They didn't know what they were doing. They generally didn't know what they were doing when we scored that. And it's so annoying. I love Casemiro, my guy, but he was at fault. That pass back was bad. Played us into trouble, and we can see that goal. The only thing I'll add on before I sort of read your comments and bring Eddie in is the first is on top of what I just said is that was a red card. I don't care what anyone says. That was a red card. It wasn't a penalty because it was outside the box, but Marcus Rashford was fouled and Koundé was last man. Koundé shouldn't be on that pitch. Koundé should be, and if Koundé had been sent off, because if I'm honest, the referee was garbage, and you could make a case, given that Barcelona are being investigated for paying refs, you can make a case in this game that they were paid, because there were so many results. Casemiro getting a yellow card for no reason, like there were so many, and the audacity for Xavi to be like, why didn't we get a penalty at the end? When it would have been one of the most softest penalties given in the Europa League on a night where they got lucky that they didn't get they weren't down to 10 men is a joke, So, but I'm proud of the guys. We had a good performance, and at the end of the day, as I said at the stream, I would have taken a I would have taken a draw at the Camp Nou, because the following leg, which I think is is the following leg next week. I think the following leg might be next week. Let me just quickly let me quickly check. Europa League. Is it next week? Yeah, it's Thursday the 23rd. Yeah, it'll be next week. Yeah, it'll be next Thursday. So the following leg is next Thursday. But next Thursday, obviously, Martinez will be back. Sabitz will be back. So he'll be back from their suspensions, which will give us more options in the midfield and defense. Because I genuinely believe we miss Lisandro. Lisandro and Varane in that defense, I think we can actually cook. And we can actually, so much as I love Manassi, I think it was good. I think Luke Shaw is always going to be better off the left. So we can definitely get more from that. Plus or minus, maybe Ansi and Martial might be back. Sancho was okay in the first half, but I mean, again, guy disappeared, man. He really, and to be honest, you know, at times, whatever people say about Wan-Bissaka, who was having issues on the right, he was getting doubled up upon. So, but ultimately, what I'm saying is that I am happy with this performance. I didn't really care that much about the Europa League in terms of where we won, but the fact that we can play this way just shows you. Because bear in mind, Barcelona are top of La Liga. This is the best team in Spanish football, and we went to toe with them and practically cooked them at times. So that shows development with Ten Hag, progress under Ten Hag, and if we're talking about what I'm hearing, and we have a show tomorrow. We have a show tomorrow because the final bids are coming in tomorrow. The deadline is tomorrow. The bids are coming in, and Qatar look like they might do it. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. But before we get to, let me just quickly in the comments and then bring Eddie in. Oh yeah, Eddie, big up for performance tonight. Hey, everyone, pick the like. Mawada, big up. What a good game this would have been a good. Exactly, it felt like a UCL game. Unlike the Chelsea Dortmund game yesterday, this actually felt like a proper UCL game. Niall says, big up, RD, great draw. Let's go, no Trevor. Let's go. Exactly. Thank you. And Albert on Facebook says, well done. Thank you, Chief. Right. I'm going to bring Eddie and Samasi in the background. And I'll let you just give your thoughts. I need to quickly sort something out. Eddie, bro, how you doing?
Yo, big up RDS, man. I'm feeling elated, man. There's no amount of words I can actually use to describe myself, but elated is one of the good words I can come up with now, man. I mean, we were on my preview, and I was pessimistic, man. I made my 2-1 to Barcelona prediction, and I feel like I should be given a backhand for that kind of pessimism, because the way we showed up with energy today, Barcelona weren't looking like they were top of their league, especially after the first 30 minutes. I'll be real. First 30 minutes, they were cooking with the likes of Pedri and Gavi, linking up. They were finding gaps in our midfield. But when we got to the 30th minute, it all seemed like it just changed. We knew how to contain. We got the wingers to track back. I know Sancho was a bit quiet, but he did well tracking back. Bruno on the other wing did well tracking back as well. And we had runs in behind with Rashford. I wanted Rashford to start as well, because I thought in the Leeds games, Ten Hag had to be amending his formula, and I wanted him to get it right from the start, and it seemed like he did, because he got Rashford up top, and he was looking dangerous, man. Xavi played Araujo right back because he thought Rashford was going to be on the left wing, but Ten Hag was cunning, man. He changed it up. So we saw that Weghorst was dropping a bit deep. I think. Unless I'm wrong, we played like a 4-1 formation, and Weghorst grew into the game with Fred. Fred, for me, he's a little bit of an enigma. Sometimes he's like Dr. Jekyll, sometimes he's like Mr. Hyde. He's sometimes good, sometimes bad, but he grew into the game, especially after Pedri came off. For me, that was a big game changer. When Sergio Roberto came on, United seemed to grab more of the game. And we were creating just as many chances as them. You've got to bring up the stats, man, in terms of attempts. I think it ended, was it Man United 17 attempts, Barcelona 18? Like you were saying, RDS, man, it seemed like it was a Champions League game. The amount of entertainment I saw in that game was better than a lot of Champions Leagues games I've seen today. And I'll finish on this for now.
I'll finish
on this point. Ten Hag Ten Hag and the fitness team have got to be given a raise. Because I don't know how we're performing like that when we've got one game every 3 days. We're trying to go hard in all the competitions. And we went to big new camp, 100,000 attendance that they have, intimidating atmosphere. And we should have actually won if it wasn't for the Casemiro mistake. Casemiro had an overall good game, but we should have won.
No, I agree. And I was just going to say that I've lost my train of thought now. Okay, it'll come back to me. Let me go on to AD, man. AD obviously is a Barca fan. Thank you for coming on the stream, man. I appreciate it. Obviously, guys, head over to subscribe to AD's channel, man. As a Barca fan, what were your overall thoughts on Barcelona's performance and the selections and the rest of it?
Yeah. Wow, it was a very intense game, and as Eddie said, man, this was the best game. This was better than any Champions League games I watched this week. It was better, man, and I was surprised, like, because I honestly thought we would get. I honestly was really worried when I saw Alonso at the center back. I was like, oh my god, what is going on? You know, I was like really worried, and we held our own in this game. But I also do feel that it's funny because I think we could have also won the game, just like Eddie said, for United, and I also feel like we could have lost. You know, this was like a game that was back and forth, end to end, you know. But I got to give credit to United, man. You guys played really well. Amazing performance. And I want to shout out to Malesio, man. I thought he was excellent on the day, unsung hero. And, you know, you had your question marks ahead of the game, I believe, RDS before this game.
I did.
And he was fantastic on the day. Obviously, Rashford was amazing too. Casemiro was great, although he gave away that mistake. As for Barcelona, the only really standout player for me was Rafinha. And maybe Ter Stegen. I'll say those two.
Weren't you surprised that Xavi took him off near the end? Because like he was disappointed. Like he wasn't tired, so it must have just been a tactical change. Were you guys a little bit scared near the end, bringing on Ferran Torres? Man, that was a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, and even Rafinha himself, he looked really annoyed as well. I was like, why am I coming off? You know, like I just don't understand. You know, Xavi's substitutions, man.
Can I ask one question? Can I ask one question, AD? Where was Lewandowski today?
That is a good question because he's and I don't know if you guys know this is actually the first time he played against Manchester United in his career. First time.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I think he only has one chance, man. You've got to answer for your boy. What was he doing, man? I think there was runs from him.
Yeah, he was terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. And then another player that was really bad was Koundé. I thought Koundé was terrible.
Yeah.
He was.
That was a red. That was AD. That was a red card. I'm sorry. That was a red card. That was a red card. You know,
wait, which minute? On Koundé?
Yeah, when you found
Rashford was through on goal, and then Koundé pulled him back. It was not in the box. It wasn't a penalty, but it was outside the box. So outside the box, he was through on. So it should have been a free. It should have been a free kick and a red card to Koundé. If it had been in the box,
the referee was terrible. The referee was terrible. The referee was terrible for both teams.
What's going on with the refs at the moment? They all have been fucking horrendous.
I don't know, man. They need some training. I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes in Bundesliga after games, the ref has to give an interview and explain his choices. At least the Premier League could do that, or La Liga, or the UEFA. I don't know who is in charge of that.
Yeah. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, Lewandowski was terrible. And you know, I was just reading before the game that he was amazing against English teams. Like, you know, he destroyed Chelsea a few seasons ago, destroyed Spurs. And I think I think he might have scored against Arsenal. I don't remember, but he's been really good in those English. Yeah. And obviously he just didn't show up on the day.
I would say he at least had the first good 20 to 25.
Yeah,
he was holding up
he was
the
good
ball,
the first half.
up, and then he got the one shot against the hair. But then after that, it seemed like his energy went out the window. It was a bit weird.
Yeah, the thing is, like with Barca, man, like as I said earlier, like the only real standout players were Rafinha and Ter Stegen. Everyone else was either like average or
really. Ter Stegen, what was he doing? I mean, Rashford's goal was good.
Yeah, that was near post.
No, but like still for like the entire game, like he was still great in the entire game. Like he, you know, it could have gone ugly. You know, yes, that one mistake, and that's why I say like you know, but I still think he was great for most of the game. You know, that's what I'm saying. because like I said, if Ter Stegen wasn't this insane form, like the previous season's form, you guys would have won this like 4-2, 5-2, probably. Like it would have been the tie would have been for sure over. You know?
Oh yeah, that save he made against Rashford in the first half, where Rashford was running in from the left wing, and he tried to do like a finesse shot to the far post. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes.
For that one. That was awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately,
save as well.
Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the entire game because I was kind of at work. So the first half, so I did get to see the second half though. So I might have missed some stuff in the first half, but I watched, I think, around most of the game. So, but yeah, Barca, man, this was an end-to-end game, man, and obviously, it's a crazy result, man. And then obviously, injuries, man, for Barca, man.
Hey, yeah, AD. So I was going to ask you before I go into J2S, like, so in your opinion, who do you see as favourites going into Old Trafford? How do you see the second leg like happening?
Definitely you guys. I mean, this wasn't even your strongest United team. Like you're gonna have Sabitzer is gonna be back. Obviously Lissandro will be back, and Barca we're gonna have Gavi is gonna be out for sure. Yellow card accumulation, as I told Eddie earlier. Then Pedri is likely to be out. Although
it looked like it was a hamstring, I think potentially.
Yeah, and I don't think Busquets and Dembele will recover in time. And even if we do put up our good team, Javi's probably still going to rotate for the game next week.
So so no Busquets, no Gavi, no Pedri. So who's playing in Barcelona's midfield in the next game then?
It's going to probably be Kessie, Frankie De Jong, and probably Roberto.
Okay.
We've got a big chance now, man, because Pedri and Gavi, the way they were linking up first 30 minutes, I was scared, man. I thought my prediction was going to come true, but wow, yes, I'm hopeful Pedri's not going to figure, because he was your best player, man. When he came off, I was celebrating.
When he came off.
Pedri was great. And like I said, man, and the thing with Xavi is that it's so weird because like if you're trying to rotate, then why do you rotate the entire team? Like I don't understand this excuse, like we're going to rotate our back line. That's stupid. Like if you're going to rotate, just do everyone. Like it just doesn't make sense. And I'm like, this is Cadiz, man. They're a relegation team. Like, are we really like? You could just rotate for that game. Like this is a massive game.
Well, it's a double negative because ultimately Pedri's injured now, so your best player is now. So you didn't go for it, and I didn't really get it. Mega says sell Bruno, Dybala swap. Dybala's washed, man. I'm not. Come on. I know Bruno didn't have a great game.
He's still good.
Respect
Dybala.
We got to talk about Bruno though, because he's supposed to be our chief number 10, and this guy's getting put into the right wing.
Weghorst is the number 10 right now. Weghorst is the Bruno.
Wow, guys!
I can't believe Weghorst as a number 10 works. Ten Hag is a fucking genius.
He is.
Wow, guys!
Here.
He is
Genius.
Guys, Sevilla's 3-0 up against PSV. I'm just seeing this right now.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Well, it is Sevilla's cup. It is Sevilla's cup, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go and win the Europa League. Is their thing. Just don't tell me that Juventus are losing because
they're tied. They just conceded.
Wow.
Well, they are losing, but they're level.
Wow.
But they're at home as well.
Who are they playing at home tonight, though?
Yeah.
You're losing to Nantes.
No, they're tying. They're tying.
They're tying at home to Nantes, man.
But tying is still bad.
I'm not surprised. I mean, having the reduction for them, just be taking that confidence away. I'm not surprised that they're messing up now, man.
Juventus are a fucking joke, but I hope they get relegated because you can buy the players for cheap. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
it's just every fucking rival is praying they get relegated. You can get Chiesa, you can get Vlahovic. So
we want Vlahovic at United, man. We're linked with him. We need that guy. We need a number 9 gunslinger.
Mo says, I'm fine with Fred's performance. He should start the home leg as well. His energy is a replacement.
Oh, yeah, Fred was good, actually. He was good.
I've always said about Fred. It's like he is our fittest midfielder. Like he's never got injured from what I remember, and like he's always fit. Like he's always run. Like I've never seen him tired. I'm like, I don't get it. Everyone else gets injured or is tired, but Fred doesn't. So whatever you say about him, even though he's not the most technically gifted player, like you do need him, for engine boost and stuff. So I read the week. Shout out to the week. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Would have taken the draw before kickoff, but we had chance to win that. Rashford is still the truth, and I agree with that. Rashford
13 goals.
Yes, Rashford.
He needs to. Rashford needs to be drug tested. I don't care. 13 goals.
I was
It's-
saying this,
Well-
before this stream. I was like, "Are we on steroids? The amount of energy that we have our players on, that just keep going. We're on
Rashford,
something."
man.
Rashford's on
Rashford, man.
something. That Carabao Cup final is going to be interesting. So it's going to be very interesting. J2S, man. J2S. Land. What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts overall?
Yeah, I would have taken this result before the game even started. But the fact that we went 2-1 up and then we conceded, it's just that disappointment that you have because you were like, we could have made the home leg easier for ourselves. Like, I still think we'll win and go through, but it's like we could have done a little bit more rotation.
Yeah.
But we could have to put out a stronger side. And they've lost Gavi and Pedro now, so they're like two key players in midfield. There's no Busquets, so their best free midfielders are out of the game, so that gives us the advantage. And we're at home, and we don't really lose at Old Trafford as well. So hopefully we win and go through.
And we got Martinez back, my friends.
Yeah,
we're
got
gonna
Martinez
pocket Lewandowski again. Red and Martinez, man. They're gonna keep him quiet.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting, guys? The two Barca players that scored today scored against United last season. I just realized.
Did they?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Marcos Alonso and
Rafinha. They did, yeah.
Man, what are the
they
odds?
did. They did. Jeez, man. So Premier League tax. You know what I mean? Premier League tax. Premier League tax, man. So I mean, there is. We might have to have it depending on what happens tomorrow, and at the and next week we might have to have a La Liga conversation.
Oh,
A
man.
small one, but 80 we might have to. We might have to because Real Madrid should be destroying this Liverpool side. They should be destroying this Liverpool side. They should. Over two legs, where Liverpool are, they should be destroying this Liverpool side. If United knock out Barca and Liverpool pimp slap Madrid, there might have to be a La Liga conversation. Is that fair? There might have to be a Liga conversation.
I think we need to do a Barca conversation in Europe. I think we should do that because I don't see Liverpool beating Real Madrid. But if that does happen, we should.
Yeah. Even though I know Sevilla will go on and win the Europa League because it's just their trophy at this point. So I just know already. If you can clip it, I already know Sevilla are going to go and win this.
And what if Villarreal? What if they win the Conference League?
No.
I mean, is the Conference League really even relative to any importance, man? Who really?
Well, I mean, a lot of people hyped on Mourinho's thing last season, so we got to be fair, man.
They did.
Respect Mourinho. He completed football.
I mean, you have to be fair with you can't just be revisionist, for your agenda thing.
Thank you, King Stash, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, buddy. Let me get myself some. Rashford is inevitable. Arsenal in the mud. Man City relegated. They are 100% to win the league. I bet everything on that. Okay. I will also add Liverpool also in the mud because apparently the Qatari, we're hearing the Qatari owners went to Liverpool first and FSG were like, nah, we want most of the stake. And then United were available and they're like, oh, we can buy United. It is what it is. So we're going to get Qatari owners. They're going to still stock with FSG. And the other rumor is that potentially... Sorry, go on. Yeah, Smassy.
It's QRA, not QRS, who also owns PSG. I think it's now QRA, who actually wanted to buy Liverpool. So actually, there's no problem anymore because they are separate owners.
Okay,
So,
I see.
The
other rumor, Samasi, is that when the Glazers get the money, they might make a bid for Liverpool. There is a dangerous rumor going around.
If this happens,
that might happen.
It's over. It's over for Liverpool. The Glazers are the worst owners I've seen.
If City get punished with potentially like severe relegation, Liverpool get bought by the Glazers, and that happens in the space of and Chelsea basically are in the mud. God is a United fan. I don't want to have any like if all of those three things happen. What is the United fan?
United fans, they have been suffering for the last 10 years. Let's face it, and now everything is again good for them. They have Eric Ten Hag. They have good players. The Glazers are gonna sell. You get Qatari money. You get a better infrastructure, a new training building. in your stadium with the money, it's looking, not gonna lie, it's looking good for United.
This is what we deserve, yeah, because we're the best legacy Premiership team. 13 Premier Leagues. Football goes in cycles, yeah. It was due for us to come back to prominence. The stars are aligning. We can all feel it in the air. All rival fans, AD, you can feel it, man. At Barcelona, you're a bit scared, isn't it? Second leg.
Yeah.
No, we're coming for you, man. We got our players back in there, Sabitzer and Martinez, man. We're going to start taking over, man. I'm so excited, man.
Yeah.
No, it is definitely. It is definitely. I mean, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be. Let's just say it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, and I'll be
I
very.
completely flipped, RDS. You were on my stream. You saw how pessimistic I was, man.
I know.
I think we can win this now.
I know. I mean, my only thing is my only thing, I guess, is that it's about worth, I guess, because people need to realize that this is just a tie to actually get into the Europa League. Like being Barcelona, will feel like, oh wow, we've done things, but now it's like you're rewarded with at least what round of 16, so that's 2 games, quarterfinals 2 games, semi-finals 2 games, so at least 7 more games to get to a final. That's your award. 7 more games on top of the FA Cup games that we have. On top of like, I'm at the point where I'm like, depending on what happens in the next 2 weeks in the league, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I am not saying this is going to happen. But if United find themselves somehow only 2 points behind first in the next few weeks, all I'm saying is that certain competitions might have to be thrown. I'm saying if United find themselves 2 points behind first, United need to have the priorities.
If Man City don't go on a mad run like they always do and bottle a few games, United should forget about Europa League. Go and get the Premier League, let's face it.
Yeah. But it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, in the next 2 weeks, given that you've still got 7 big games in the Europa League, Thursday, Sunday, if for some reason United find themselves only 2 points behind first, you throw Thursday football. You throw Thursday football. I don't care about the Europa League. You throw Thursday football.
RDS, I'll say this, don't you think, we've got to be realistic. Like, Ten Hag wants to win every game. He said that. Like, we see he tries to play the strongest team every time, I don't know how we've won, we've performed this well in this game. Like Samasi was saying, I don't know. There may be some players on some substances. Hopefully not, But it's like, I think we have to concede at least the FA Cup. Play the reserve team there. Give the first team proper recharge. So we can go strong in the Premier League, Europa League, and obviously win the Carabao Cup, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. This is what I'm saying. It's like, it's just, United are going to get injuries. In an ideal world with the squad, yes, but with the injuries that United have, like I just can't see. We already saw if Casemiro, for example, hadn't got that red card, there's a chance that you still beat Leeds. If he hadn't got that suspension, there's a chance that you get something from the Arsenal game, and suddenly we're having different conversations. So I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Mega says we're not. Because if that did happen, United fans would become completely unbearable.
No, H might quit football. H might quit football.
He might because he can't live in a world where United won the league and Chelsea.
Especially if Chelsea end up in 10th or 11th place.
Can you believe how much they spent? Like 600 billion. They got 2 wins, 6 losses.
Chelsea
in the mud.
Have lost my respect after they couldn't score against Sule, who eats too many Big Macs, and Schlotterbeck. I was like, you know what? They're the worst Champions League team I've seen in a long time.
So just moving on, obviously, because we'll begin to round things up. How do people see? Now, I'll start with Samasi and then go around. How do people see the second leg? How do people see the second leg? What's going to happen in the second leg?
I think Barca, because they have so many injuries, or not really, they have not 100% replacement for Perty because he is so good. I think Man United are going to win this easily. I think a 3-1. Maybe go from pretty small game, Robert. It hurts to say it, but it's the truth. So I think 3-1 should be good. And Lisandro Martinez will be back, so I say
That's true.
3-1.
That's true. The Borganator says if we throw the FA Cup and lose to Barca and Oldcastle, what we got left? Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, because to me, if we win the that's why it's the next 2 weeks, because the next 2 weeks there's Premier League games and there's also Carabao. So if United win the Carabao Cup, as far as I'm concerned, almost like the job's done for the season, because I don't think that, because my expectation was top 4 in the trophy, so I'm fairly confident that this squad will get top 4 because they also were too inconsistent. And if we win the Carabao Cup, it's like, for me, that's job done. There should be no other expectation on Ten Hag than top 4 and then a trophy. So he's ready. So if we beat Newcastle, he's already got it. So whatever happens after February 28th is just a bonus in terms of Europa League, FA Cup, or trying to compete for the league. So that's why I would say that if we get that, and we are 2 points away from us, then have fun. I would throw, in my opinion, I'd throw the Europa League and focus all your energy on the league, because we don't need to win the Europa League. You've got a trophy already that shows your progress. So go all in for the Europa League, and go in for the Premier League if we're that close, and see what happens.
Yeah, can I just answer as well? Like, because the Bruce he's called me on my pessimism in previous streams. I'm sorry, my friend. I know this game has really proved me wrong. We've really got the energy to keep going, but I don't think we are like robots. Yeah, there's going to be a time where we're going to get burned out. So I think Bruce is thinking, if we throw one game, we just mess up the momentum. But then just think about it, Bruce we will have the team recharged. Yeah, we need to have a time where we get some rest, because as much mentality as you can have, you can't beat a hamstring injury or a thigh injury. We're going to get some muscular injuries if we keep going too strong. Yeah. My prediction before the whole season was starting, I thought we'd just get top 6 because we just needed to work on the football. But we're in top 4. We're in pretty much a lot of these competitions. Yeah, we're in a luxury position where we can just maybe choose the Carabao Cup, go for the Europa League as well. Do we really need the FA Cup? That's not the expectation, is it? The expectation now seems top 4, get a cup for confidence. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's fair. J2S, thoughts on how the second leg is going to go?
Yeah, I massively favour us to win overall, because just seeing this game, we actually dominated in the new camp in certain spells as well, which I didn't expect. Because I thought we'd be more pragmatic and defensive like we were against that Arsenal second half, and Man City at home. I thought we would be more like that, but we actually took the game to Barcelona. And that first half, we actually created quite a good... We had the better opportunities that first half.
Yeah.
That Barcelona first goal kind of went against the run of play in some ways.
Yeah.
And they went 1-0 up, because they didn't really lay a glove on us for a good half an hour, I'd say.
Yeah.
So they've got defensive. They've got, well, I don't know what defense he's going to play. Knowing Xavi, he's going to rotate. They haven't got the key players like Gavi and Pedri. Lewandowski's, I don't think he's going to turn up again. So we got our star players come back as well, like Martinez. Sabitzer can help as well in the game.
That's true.
Yeah. So and Anthony might be back. I don't know if he's going to be back in time, but he might also be back.
Mm-hmm.
Because him on the right wing, because in that first half, they were going down that right hand side a lot.
Yeah. Wan-Bissaka was struggling, man. Wan-Bissaka was struggling. I was like, this guy's getting doubled up on. Like, it's getting tired. It's getting like, come on, like, help the guy out. He can't do everything. He can't defend all himself on that right side. So
I think Sancho tracked back enough at times from what I saw. Sancho, that's the only good thing. Sancho
was on the left, and in the first half.
Yeah, it was Bruno on the right.
Oh, sorry, Bruno.
Yeah,
that's something. Bruno's a track back. It's not in his game.
No, Bruno and
He
Sancho.
just wants to set the pitch.
If Dalot was on that side, Dalot would have been cooked more so.
Yeah.
I think Dalot isn't as obviously good defensively as Wan-Bissaka is. So, but sorry, go on, Jitwas.
Yeah, but I predict us to win. I'm saying like maybe a 2-1 victory or 2-0, 2-1, something like that. I don't see us slapping them 3-1, 3-0. I think it'll be still a close game. Okay. But we only lost one game at Old Trafford, I think. And that was the very first game of the season. So, yeah, I massively favour us to win.
Shout out to the King Stash. Oh, Wagner says, all good, Eddie. King Stashes, don't throw games. Winning the time means you keep going. Don't get complacent. I agree, but you also have to consider the depth of the squad. You got to be able to rotate and manage and stuff. And I just think that, and also it's management expectation as well. And I just think that if United are in a situation where they are in a legitimate title race, which we're not right now, do you really go all out to win the Europa League and risk an injury to Casemiro? Personally, for me, I wouldn't. I would play. I would at the very least use your kids a bit more. Maybe bring in Mainu, Palestri, Iqbal, etc. So
in the Europa League, though, you said.
In Europa League, yeah. But what I would say though is that if Barcelona and are Juve losing or are they still drawing? Juve better not be losing. I haven't checked the results yet. So, but if United do beat Barcelona, and you mentioned about aside from Sevilla, to be honest, there aren't that many. I think Arsenal, obviously, there aren't that many other, I would argue, big Europa teams left that would be a challenge for Manchester United in Europa League. If those guys,
still a draw. It's still a draw.
It's still a draw. Okay, yeah, they're not. I haven't felt the touch of trophy for so long, man. I'd cry tears if we won the league. Exactly. Hence my sort of. Luna says, Easy is playing his best team available when it's working. Only team that can win 4 trophies as it stands. I trust in all this stuff. Simple. So yeah, trust the process. I agree. And shout out to Matthew in the chat, man. Thank you for your support, Matthew. Really appreciate it. Is the bits available second leg at Old Trafford? Yes, he is. Yeah. He is. He was suspended. So he is. Him and Lisandro will be back, provided that there's no injuries. So I think we can turn Barcelona in the second leg. That's true. So Sevilla are poor this season. Well, they seem to be doing well against the PSV. They're scoring 3-0 against.
Yeah, it's different when you do cup competitions and league.
Yeah, it's true.
Sevilla got the history of just turning over teams.
Exactly.
I don't admit league form wise.
Oh, you're cutting out, AD.
You're cutting out. I was like, is that me? Because I know my connection is bad.
No, he's cut out.
Oh, it's cut out. Okay.
Right, can I do my prediction for the game?
Yeah, go on.
I'm itching to
go on, Eddie.
I'm itching to flip flop. I'm sorry to people that have seen my stream, man. I almost want to go back and change my predictions now, but obviously, when you see new evidence come to the table, you're allowed to change your opinion. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? We've seen the stats before the game. Barcelona were dominating. They're at the top of their league, man. They're a year ahead. I didn't expect Man United to in the recovery season to be going there and doing the right kind of phases of play, containing when they needed to, attacking when they needed to. They balanced the game well. It was only little mistakes that cost us. That shows that Ten Hag's getting it right. Yeah. So we've seen that Pedri and Gavi are not going to be there. Yeah. Most likely Gavi, but hopefully Pedri is not there. We're going to cook there with Sabitzer coming in, with his technical ability. And Fred, with his energy to keep going, Casemiro's back in, and obviously we're at home. We're gonna have our 12th man on our side now, so we got the advantage. Yeah, I like I said to AD, I think Xavi is a bit worried now because you guys taking off Rafinha, that was a big thing psychologically. I think Xavi is a bit worried, man. You're a bit worried about our pace in behind. You're a bit worried about our midfield that can transition quickly. Yeah, because we were putting on the likes of Garnacho to try and go for the win. You guys are putting on the likes of Ferran Torres. I mean, I've not watched him enough, but he's not as dangerous as Rafinha. So for me, we've got the psychology on our side. J2S was saying we're not going to see a 3-1. Bro, I think we see a 3-1. I think we're going to win by a couple of goals. I think Rash Bappe is going to score a brace. Veghorst, I'm going to pick him to actually
What
get.
was that name? What was that name?
Huh?
Oh my god.
The name for Rashford.
Rash Bappe.
Rash Bappe. Look at the stats though, Samasi. Look, you see what he's doing. Yeah, the amount of goals he's getting. I think what is it? 22 goals and 35 appearances now. Yeah, the guy is on Mbappe's standard. That's what I'm saying.
Are you a bit concerned though, because you guys do have the Carabao Cup final, and so do you think Ten Hag might rotate? You know, if the game is in a comfortable position, or do you think he'll still tell the players to go all in and humiliate Barca? Make it 4-1, 5-1, something like that.
Oh man, see, this is the hard thing, and I've been talking about rotation. Yeah, I think Ten Hag's going to go strong for both competitions, man. I think he looks to play the first team for both of those competitions, and like I'm saying, I think he will go weaker in the FA Cup. That's when we'll try and get the rest.
I have a weird feeling that he might rotate against Leicester at home. There's a part of me that thinks that he's going to rotate against Leicester at home, and that because he didn't play Lisandro. So I guess because he didn't play Lisandro against Leeds away. So Lisandro's basically had a week off effectively. So he actually didn't play or barely played against Leeds. So a part of me feels like he'll probably play Lisandro. Will he play Lisandro against Leicester? He probably will play Lisandro against Leicester. I possibly he might rest because you don't. Do you need?
Yeah, I mean Martinez has got to play because we saw Maguire, didn't we? He wasn't. Come on, he wasn't looking good at all.
No,
man.
but my thing is like, do you need to play Lisandro and Varane against Barcelona at Old Trafford? Is my point.
I would say yes. Who else do we play? We're going to go Luke Shaw.
Possibly.
In there.
Luke Shaw. I don't think Luke Shaw had an issue against the Barcelona attack today. Like the stars, like we like I said, where was Lewandowski? Like Lewandowski didn't, and Barca's goals were scored.
Can I say something about Lewandowski?
Yes. Samasi, you need to back your Bundesliga.
I don't know what happened. Actually, he doesn't score in final or semi-final, but he scores actually in quarters and qualification. He scores actually a lot of goals when he was for Bayern. I don't know what happened when he went to Barca. Maybe after he put that Barca shirt on, he lost all his powers. I don't know what's going on with. I swear, I don't know what's going on, because actually that's a perfect platform for him to score. And he had the chances to. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I remember on the weekend.
He's got good stats before like the last 3 games where he's not scored. Like what he's got, like what is it? 24 goals, 27 appearances, something like that.
Yeah. I remember the last game against Villarreal. He missed so many chances that game. I remember. I watched the game. So, maybe Samasi can answer this. Do you think the pressure of this game was the reason why he folded, or do you just think that it just didn't really work out, or do you think it's a one-off?
I don't think he's really in form, because he had a long break, because he couldn't play because of his red card.
Oh yeah,
I think that's why he's just not really in form. I think he needs a few games to start scoring again. I hope it's not long, because I'm rooting for him. He did a lot of great things at Bayern, and I don't want his career to end with his nickname Small Girl Robot.
Yeah, I think because even the game against Betis, like I remember he didn't really have a good game, but he just scored a goal out of nowhere. And so, yeah, you're right. He's been kind of out of form for some time now.
Last question before we bounce. And just sort of going around, just quick views. How do people rate Ten Hag right now? Like right now into the season, what he's achieved, where United were, and what things has been like. What is people's opinion or view on Ten Hag?
He's done an amazing job. Like because like before Ten Hag came, you guys were a joke. Last season was abysmal. You know, I think I was your worst Premier League finish for some time now. I believe you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of big things, you know, and it's not even just on the pitch. I also look at the decisions he made off the pitch. You know, he's benched Maguire, he's benched Cristiano Ronaldo. He's made those big decisions, you know, and because at the end of the day, it's not about like, you know, getting the results and everything. Of course, that's important, but it's also making those big decisions. You know, he's been bold in making those decisions, you know. And, you know, you saw at the beginning of the season how disastrous it was, you know, losing to Brighton, then losing to Brentford, you know, and, you know, and that win against Liverpool really, I think it changed the whole season. I think if you guys didn't win against Liverpool, you guys could still maybe be in this bad form you guys would have been. And I think that win was just massive, especially at Old Trafford in front of your fans. And yeah, I just think for me, he's overachieving. And, you know, I think it would be, I think it's impressive because for you guys to compete with Arsenal and Manchester City for the Premier League is incredible. And obviously, you know, competing in the Carabao Cup, you know, maybe can win a Carabao Cup, and then all four fronts as well. Like no other English team is in all four competitions. So I give my approval to Ten Hag. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, I actually wanted Ten Hag to coach Barcelona over Xavi. I actually did not. I wanted Ten Hag more than Xavi.
Well, to be honest, you know, there is a worry about me because I think that if Ten Hag was going to go to any other club, it would be Barcelona. So
actually, no, it would be Bayern. He said his favorite club is Bayern. It would be
is that what
let's face it, he started
Samasi.
He started at Bayern, so he's gonna. After, no, I respect him.
You have one of the best up and coming coaches in Nagelsmann. You can't be greedy. You got Nagelsmann.
After he won everything with United, he can come to Bayern Munich and win everything with us.
No, but Samasi, you have Nagelsmann. He's young, and he's experienced. And
he's biggest man can suck at it.
Let me say,
I would take Ten Hag right at the moment.
Ten Hag is staying at Man United like Sir Alex Ferguson. He's going to be there for the next 10, 15 years. I don't know how long. He's going to be there. This is his team now, yeah? Let me just talk about... Can I talk about Ten Hag as well? Because AD, not even a Man United fan, was making all the points that I was going to say. Or the discipline that he's put into the team. He's not even got his full roster of players yet. He's spent, 200 million? I know that's quite a bit. I mean, if you compare it to Chelsea, it's nothing. Yeah, he's still having to try and brainwash counter-attackers like Bruno and Fred to do this high-press football where we try and control the game. We were controlling the game in a lot of parts against Barcelona, apart from the first half hour. Yeah, this guy has shown that he can adapt as well because he's not just a possession coach. We've seen that we can do counter.
He's very adaptable.
Yeah, very adaptable. We've seen that we can do counter attack against the likes of Arsenal, City. You know, we can contain and then pick our moments. We've seen Ten Hag make the right substitutions where he's putting in. I mean, Garnacho now. Under the tutelage of Ten Hag, these young players are going to go from strength to strength. I'm surprised that we're not even seeing like the likes of Zidane Iqbal come in because Ten Hag knows how to use these players at the right moments. Yeah, they're growing. Yeah. And like I was saying before, I thought we were just going to try and get top six and just focus on the football. Like AD saying, we're on. Is it 4 fronts? I'm even forgetting what cups we're in. That's how. Luxurious we are in our position.
RDS, I forgot to mention, like, he's also made some players amazing. Like, look at Rashford. Like, last season, we know Rashford was so bad last season. You know, Rashford's been amazing this season. You know, and then look at Bruno Fernandes. Like, he's been, I think he's been underrated. I don't think a lot of people are discussing about Bruno. Like, he's not really been that goals kind of guy, this person, but he's been more of like kind of like a silent guy. You know, like the guy that does the dirty work. You know, like, you know, just that leadership, you know, and I think he's a captain as well, right?
Yeah.
No, Maguire's the captain.
He's like vice captain, but
Yeah,
Maguire
vice
doesn't
captain.
play. So
Okay, let me
Maguire
rephrase.
gets
Vice
like
captain.
5 minutes here and there. He's not really the captain, is really.
Yeah. Okay, vice captain. Okay. Officially vice captain, but we know it's a real captain. Officially,
But
yeah.
I'll just say a few more points, before other people.
So before you go on quickly, let me just quickly and who's ready for Sunday? Leicester taking over your town again. Leicester taking over your ground again. Well, and check your DMs. Check your DMs. I want you on for the preview Saturday night, man. Need you on for the preview Saturday night, so it'll be good to get some Leicester banter in because Leicester they cook Spurs. They did cook Spurs, and without Casemiro, I'm a little bit worried. Another big decision is to put his faith in Rashford when most of our fan base gave up on him. From what he was last year to best player in the world, exactly. Ten Hag has made Rashford world class. He has made his world class. I was going
to say quickly. Obviously, Ten Hag's not perfect. I think he's got to fine tune how we use Bruno because recently we've had to push him to the wing because he's not cooking in the middle. You know, there's a reason why we've had to drop Weghorst into that attacking position because we're not getting as much service as we need for the forward. So obviously, this shows that we're in a recovery mode. There's certain things that still need to be fixed. The likes of Eriksen being alongside Casemiro. We've seen Eriksen, he's good at passing sometimes, but Casemiro has to overwork to cover that midfield. We need a proper holding midfield in there. So that's where the club comes into play as well, where we need to actually keep back in Ten Hag to get his players. So hopefully we see that fine-tuned.
Has anyone had their thoughts on us? I've ignored Samassi's he's going to Bayern Munich situation because that's not happening. So they have Nagelsmann out there who literally is the future of German. He's the future of German football, Samassi. Come on.
Were you happy with the performance against PSG? I mean, you were controlling the game.
He's a B-Tech Pep Guardiola. His subs are absolutely horrendous. And he likes to experiment. It's
like Arteta.
That's right. That's the word. So I can't do that shit anymore. It annoys the hell out of me. So I will, if we lose in our own stadium, I will be Nagelsmann out. I don't want to see his face anymore.
Come on, back your manager. You're
gonna win the league though. You're gonna win the league.
I think the only way I see Nagelsmann getting sacked is if Bayern don't win the league. If Bayern don't win the league, he's getting sacked.
By the way, it's still just 1 point. It's still just 1 point.
Yeah,
so
you guys are gonna win that. Come on, you got Musiala.
The problem is Union Berlin has found out how to win Bundesliga. They have a solid defense. They maybe not score a lot, but they don't concede. Ajax drew 0-0 against them, so they don't concede a lot of goals. That's the biggest problem. We're going to play them, I think, in 2 weeks. It's going to be interesting.
Do you think they might be more focused on the Europa League than the Bundesliga? Or
no, because let's face it, next year they're going to be in the Champions League, so that they don't have to win the Europa League. So
as answered. Back your manager, Samassi. Back your manager, man. Back your manager. Stick
the
behind.
only manager I always backed at Bayern Munich was Jupp Heynckes.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. OG Jupp Heynckes was
he is one of the most underrated managers, I think.
No, I definitely agree with that.
You want him back?
Right. Sorry. What were you saying? Sorry, 80?
I was saying would you take Heynckes back?
Yes.
He's 70 odd plus now, isn't he?
I don't care. I would take him back. He never disappoints as
That's like bringing out Fergie from retirement, man. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, but if we look at people
I would.
Yeah, exactly.
Years old, man.
King Stash is right. Not gonna lie, I'm scared of Maddison. I don't know why big teams are not bought him. Like with the midfield, because Casper's still not back yet. Madison might cook. Might cook against
Man United should have bought him. Let's say Man United should have bought him at least a few years ago because he's underrated. He's a great player and shouldn't play at Leicester. Let's face it. So
Hashtag Brennan for buying. Nah, and you need to back your manager. You need to back your manager, bro. Back your manager. Madison rejected Arsenal.
I was like,
you need to
who
reject
is
back your
Brendan?
manager.
RDS.
Brendan,
What?
Back your manager.
What?
Bro.
Wait, what? You know what's really funny? What if Liverpool go for Brendan Rodgers this summer?
After this is like, yeah. You know what? The more funny, AD, if the Glazers are the new owners of Liverpool, that'd be even more funny. You know,
What's have like a 50-50 share, FSG and Glazers, like the best of
J2S, man.
They're
Don't,
American brothers, man. They're American, man. They gotta
Don't.
like hold hands with each other, man.
Yeah, that's a round of applause.
That's like, you need to like, someone needs to dub that. Someone needs to dub that. Like, I'm gonna make a clip and maybe it'll go viral. What happens if it's an FSG Glazers 50% ownership?
Yeah, man. Yes, you need to have Chainsaw and Michael Talks Football on.
Yeah, we're gonna. Hopefully tomorrow with the Who Buys United show, we're gonna get some Liverpool fans on. We're gonna discuss the recent tweets about Qatar and stuff like that, because that needs to be discussed. That needs to be discussed. Anyway, last comment from Anne, which says, talking as if Leicester haven't won the league and we've seen them United Arsenal, we are massive, up the city, see you Saturday. And you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that is why you need to back your manager, back your team. Leicester are the favourites for the weekend. So stay tuned for our preview, which hopefully Anne will be on. Guys, I just want to thank the chat and also thank the panel. Thank you, Eddie, AD, J2S, and Samasi. Make sure you check out Eddie's channel. Eddie and AD, just pick up your channels before we just.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again, man. Great reaction. Good being on with AD, J2S, and Samasi, man. Good conversation. But yeah, you can find me at Eddie's Football Waffle on YouTube. I do reactions for Man United, previews as well. And I'm trying to get into other teams as well. So yeah, subscribe. Thanks again.
AD, go on.
Yeah, so my name, so you guys can check me out at 744 on YouTube, and then on Twitter at arpon.744. So like I said, I try to cover as much European football as I possibly can.
Let me just quickly go to just Don Smoke. No. Barca hammered your goal. Do you want to see H? Okay, let's have
Don't smoke. Concentrate on winning the league and don't bottle it against
Arsenal. More importantly, I don't need a situation where Timo Werner is dunking on City.
Oh my God!
Played in the UCL yet?
If this happens,
on CL.
it's gonna be a long stream for Don't Smoke.
Oh yeah. I think there's a Angelino. I think he used to play at Man City. He's at RB Leipzig.
He did. So I'm just saying, you guys. I know you guys are gassed because you beat Arsenal, but like you need to just win the stuff first. Be clear to win the stuff first, because if somehow Nottingham Forest and Leipzig say what's up, Don Smoke, I want you back on the United form. You need to explain yourself.
Big up to Don Smoke, because he has a lot of good views. I've seen him on your channel, on HH's channel, but he must be smoking, because did you not see our chances that we had against Barcelona? Come on, Don Smoke.
I think it could have gone either way. Like, this could have been a win for Barca and United. So back and draw. So
it was definitely close. It was definitely close.
It was a close game. It could have gone either way.
Thoughts on Haaland copying? I mean, it wasn't really Rashford's original. Rashford popularized the celebration. I don't think he's the one that created it, Rashford. He just made it popular. But why is everyone doing it though? I don't get it. Like, what does it mean?
Are they like?
It relates more to Rashford, because he's had a big turnaround from being like very mentally.
No, but just the meaning of the celebration. Like, what does it mean? Is it just?
It means he's changed mentally. He's fixed up. That's what Rashford means. Everyone.
Do you think?
He's like focused.
I think maybe they're doing this in a way to to say, hey, this is the guy that did this whole thing. Rashford, inspiration. Like, he did the thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Respect Marcus MB Rashford. Okay.
Yes.
I'll give you that. Right, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter and X. Smash the notification button for latest United news and more. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers. Peace.
Peace.